Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And coming up tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast, it's another day of severe weather across parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley. We've got some gloom and doom, raw and rainy weather to deal with in parts of the Northeast and Northern Mid Atlantic states. We will cover it all tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Not a whole lot as far as watches and warnings are concerned. As of 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a whittling severe thunderstorm watch area in southeastern Michigan. We have a tornado watch across much of Ohio into western Pennsylvania. And we do have activity going on with regards to severe weather. It's not a lot, but it's concentrated in eastern Michigan on the lower peninsula. That area is moving through now and across central Ohio, where we've seen some severe thunderstorm warnings and even a couple of tornado warnings that have been issued. Again, when it comes to severe weather, if you're watching this later on this evening, things will have changed on the satellite and radar, so be sure to go to weather.gov for the latest weather information. In the meantime, clouds have rolled in and rain is also moving into parts of the Northeast. Clouds extending southwest from there down to the Gulf states and back over into Texas. And as we check out the radar, there is an arm of rain that is moving through upstate New York, down through the Catskills and the Hudson Valley to about New York City and northern New Jersey, extending offshore. It's a kind of a narrow band. There's some showers behind it. Further south, we've got some showers and even a couple of rumbles of thunder in northern Georgia and across northern Alabama, and that extends down to the Louisiana coast. Out in the west, we have some precipitation in Wyoming and up into parts of Montana. It's a situation where it's mountain snows and valley rains there, as this whole complex weather system here in the Great Lakes uh, continues to move slowly toward the northeast. 3 day rainfall forecast amounts. So we're looking at about a quarter to a half an inch. This takes us through tomorrow night. So this covers the rain event for that we're experiencing at the moment. Actually, I'm just kind of checking here because WPC has been having issues. So we'll use the 2 day rainfall amount instead. And you can see again a quarter to a half an inch in the Northeast. But it cuts off as you go up into northern New England. It also cuts off as you head down into Virginia, picks up again in the Appalachians, quarter to a half, half to 3/4 across Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, northern Mississippi, and on up in through central Missouri. The West, for the most part, except for those areas in the mountains, is on the quiet side. So we will play this out here as the Great Lakes low, which was a stronger storm yesterday, continues to weaken. We'll have areas of rain overnight into tomorrow morning. There's a weak low that forms off the New Jersey coast. So that's going to keep things gray and kind of dismal for eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England on Thursday, with some on and off rain until the low moves on out. There's another low that's forming back in southern Missouri as a low up in north of Minnesota is kind of dictating the pace here. So this system moves out. Temperatures tomorrow are going to be hard pressed to get out of the upper 40s and low 50s in most areas. It'll be a little warmer as you go further south. Then, as we move into Friday, which will probably start out okay, but then we've got a cold front that'll come through, and maybe we'll get some showers late in the day, Friday into Friday night. And then the weekend overall, I think looks good. There might be some leftover clouds early on Saturday, maybe even a leftover shower, maybe a little bit more than that in eastern New England, but perhaps we'll see some sunshine developing during the afternoon. Sunday, I think, looks like the better of the two weekend days. And the weekend is going to be on the cool side with temperatures mostly in the 50s to around 60 for a high. There's a wave that'll be moving across the Gulf states over the weekend, particularly on Sunday, and that heads off the southeast coast of the United States. I don't think it'll pose any problems for the mid Atlantic or the Northeast, other than maybe some clouds that sneak up. But other than that, it should be fine. And it looks like the weather for next week will probably be dry through Tuesday, and then we'll maybe get into some showers of rain coming in next Wednesday. So at least we don't have any major storms around. Uh, In other parts of the country where we're dealing with severe weather, we are seeing risk areas being indicated by the Storm Prediction Center. Here's today's where we've got marginal to slight risk from the western half of Pennsylvania down into northern Virginia, north and west into the slight risk area, which is where we're getting all the storms and the warnings and the occasional tornado warning. Also, a small area of slight risk in Kansas and into Missouri and also into Texas. Tomorrow, this covers the period Thursday into Friday morning. Slight to enhanced risk from central Texas northeastward into the middle Mississippi and Ohio Valley. That's going to come with some 2 to 5% tornado risk in that enhanced zone. And as far as Friday is concerned, we have a marginal risk across north central Alabama, northern Georgia, much of South Carolina, and into North Carolina. The Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states, no problems and no severe weather is forecast anytime in the next 5 days. So we'll update all of this tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time.